Jumping Jehoshaphat, I don't believe it, the Sarge is back. I'm sorry, cadets, I've been gone for so long, but I can promise you the Sarge won't stay gone that long again. I can promise you that there. Okay, folks, now the Sarge has got some really serious issues he wants to talk about, and maybe an older story or two that, the Sarge didn't get to that he wants to talk about because he feels it's important. Because, cadets, students, what's the Sarge going to talk about today? The Tea Party and hypocrisy. Two words that go hand in hand, my kids. It's sad and disgusting. So, let's get started. The first one, and folks, a good friend of mine, Sean Bootyman Tackett, y'all may know him. He sometimes gets on my nerves a little, but, he's an alright old guy. But anyway, he did 7 videos on, what he liked and stuff. And one of them happened to be with a very, very smart person who's a senior cadet staff of mine. Her name is Miss Abby Normal. Very good little friend of mine. And she did something on Fox News calling Mr. Rogers evil. And it shows you how stupid they are, children. It shows you how stupid they are. Well, folks, they did it again. They went out on the limb again, folks. And they're going after war this time. Guess who they're going after this time, folks? They're going after SpongeBob SquarePants. First Mr. Rogers, now SpongeBob. It's just unbelievable, children. Just listen to this. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up about it. And here we go. This is from YahooNews.com. Fox News host Gretchen Carlson is slamming Nickelodeon show SpongeBob SquarePants for presenting a biased view of global warming to kids. Carlson admitted she couldn't follow what was going on SpongeBob, apparently because you need a brain to do that. Odd since the show is for preschoolers and should be very easily understandable to an adult like Carlson. Totally agree. Especially when she is willing to criticize it. But she said the government agency showed kids in this cartoon and handed out books that blame man for global warming. But they did not tell kids that this is actually a disputed fact. Oops. Gather.com's article on this boo-ha-ha makes a good point. Carlson herself is also showing only one side of the global warming debate. Her opinion, the article reads, as well as the opinion of the other expert interviewed by Fox, failed to mention the evidence of increased global warming by human use and misuse of burning fossil fuels. It's just unbelievable. SpongeBob! I mean, it's bad enough they got onto the Teletubbies for being gay. They got on to Mr. Rogers for being evil. And now they're getting on to SpongeBob. Yeah, credible news source. This is the kind of stories Fox cover. Well, it's just amazing. If they don't like watching SpongeBob, if they don't like watching Mr. Rogers, family valued stuff, which they're supposed to be, what do conservatives like watching? Well, children, I am so glad you asked. The Sarge's going to tell you. Porn! That's right, folks. I got to raise my spectaculars for this one. The red state's porn habit. 8 of the top 10 pornography consumer states gave their electoral votes to John McCain last year in the last presidential election. Florida and Hawaii were the exceptions, while 6 out of the 10 favor of the lowest who like porn, the lowest states, favored Barack Obama. Well, isn't that just, fun diddly fun there, folks? Porn, family values, Christians, the right wing who get on the liberals for being so nasty, vulgar, and insensitive, and perverts. Let's do a little more on this. Talking about, this is from BeliefNet.com, and talks about this, going on to saying, the theory is that some states consume few minutes of porn just because they cannot down the really vivid sex video. Mississippians in general don't subscribe to porn that much, but Mississippians with broadband connections apparently cannot get enough. Viewed that way, the pornaholic states are Utah, Alaska, Mississippi, Hawaii, Oklahoma, Arkansas, North Dakota, Louisiana, and West Virginia. Does religiously curb the lustful appetites? Actually, 3 of the biggest porn-watching states, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, are also the quote-unquote most religious. And of course, the capital of porn usage is also the home of Church of Latter-day Saints, one of the most culturally conservative denominations around. Church attendance does seem to have an effect, apparently. People don't watch much porn while they're going to church on Sundays. Churchgoers, though, bought less porn on Sundays. An actual 1% increase in the postal code's religious attendance was associated with a 0.1 drop on subscriptions that day. However, expenditures on other days of the week brought them the fine line in the rest of the country as they find out. Now, this is just amazing, folks. For someone who claims to be such Christian values and stuff, you think it would be the blue states who would be the porn dogs. It's the conservatives. They're such liars and hypocrites. And I've even got more examples, folks, because I'm telling you, I'm on a roll. The Sarge has been going for a while. And let's talk about patriotism. The Tea Party explodes patriotism, folks. Yeah, wrong. Because here's a little statement from Miss Michelle Bachmann. When she was going to do her little speech when Obama made the address, the Congress, the address, talks about she wants to cut cap increases in Department of Veteran Affairs healthcare spending and reduce disability compensation to account for Social Security disability payments. Reduce veteran disability compensations to account for Social Security disability insurance payments. She wants to cut Medicare and stuff for veterans. Yeah, that's patriotic. Let's help the soldiers. Let's cut their health insurance. Way to go, Michelle Bachmann. You do your country proud. And, hell, girl, that's really patriotic, helping the soldiers there, isn't it? And finally, folks, this story makes me sick to my gut. Man robs a bank to get medical care in jail. This is from yahoo.com. Some people who need medical care who can't afford it go to the emergency room. Others just hope they can get better. But James Richard Vernon robbed a bank. And this story is from June 21st. This is an older story, but this is just one I had to get to. He's now in jail and has an appointment with a doctor this week. Vernon's problem started when he lost his job he held for 17 years as a Coca-Cola delivery man and the economic downturn. He found a New York truck driver driving a truck, but it didn't last. Eventually, he took part-time position at a convenience store. But Vernon's body wasn't up to it. The bending and lifting made his back ache. He had problems with his left foot, making him limp. He also suffered from carpal tunnel syndrome and arthritis. So, folks, to me, this is what he did. He went into the bank teller, and he had a ransom note for $1. $1! He said in his robbery demand that I am sound of mind, but not so much sound of body. Then Vernon held a cab to take him to the RNC bank. Inside, he handed the teller the $1 robbery demand. I don't have any fears, he said. I told the teller that I would sit over here and wait for the police. The teller was so frightened that she had to be taken to the hospital to be checked out. Oh my God, sweetie. Really? But this poor guy asked for $1, and Vernon was charged with larceny, but not bank robbery. But he said that if his punishment wasn't severe enough, he plans to tell the judge that he'll do it again. He has $100,000 bond has been reduced to $2,000, but he says he doesn't plan to pay it. In jail, Vernon says he skips dinners to avoid too much contact with other inmates. He's already seen some nurses and is scheduled to see a doctor on Friday. He's hoping to have received back and foot surgery and get protrusion on his chest treated. Then he plans to spend 5 years in jail before getting out in time to collect Social Security and move to the beach. Vernon also presented the view that in the United States had a healthcare system which offered people more government support, he wouldn't have to make the choice he did. If you don't have healthcare, you don't have anything, Vernon said. The Affordable Health Care Act that President Obama did pass, overhauled by Congress, was designed to make it easier for Americans in situations like Vernon's to get health care. But most provisions don't kick in until 2014. As is, Vernon said, he thinks he chose the best of the bunch of bad options. I picked jail. Folks, that is just damn disgusting. It's sickening. Republicans are such hypocrites, and I can't stand them. And I tell you what, folks, they're liars. They don't care about the American people. All they care about is their wallets. Now, let's get old Etch-a-Sketch here and learn what we've learned, shall we? First of all, Republicans, they don't care. They're selfish, and they're two-faced liars. And we're going to have our little word of the day right here. Don't you worry, folks. The Sarge is on fire. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to be gone too much longer, that long of time anymore. So don't you worry. I will be back. Okay. Our word of today is Pharisee. Pharisee. That means hypocrites. And that's all the Republicans, the Tea Party Republicans are. They're two-faced liars and hypocrites, and they really tick me off. So folks, tell them the Sarge sent you. And remember, I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Class is dismissed.